Welcome to the Judgment Free Zone. You've downloaded the Alcohol-Free Marriage and More podcast, episode 64 for October 9th, 2023.
Now adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room.
Recorded live from the cornfields of Central Illinois, you're listening to the Alcohol-Free Marriage Podcast with Matt and Amy. Come and learn and share a journey with two former craft beer enthusiasts who went from daily drinkers to teetotalers and basically never lost their love for their life together.
Hey, a freak show!
Well, hello there, children. Welcome back to your weekly freak show that is the Alcohol-Free Marriage and More podcast. I am Matt, along with the always lovely and shack-it-rockin' Coach Amy. How are you, my love?
With my
Go Brewing
my
t-shirt.
new Go Brewing t-shirt since we were up there.
Yes. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
But it's shack-it weather here in the cornfields. And maybe shack-it weather where you're from, too. So rock the shack-it,
even
ladies.
if it's not.
I say ladies, but I own a shack-it myself, so
The shack-it actually started out like the girl thing, and now shack-its are for all.
The shack-it started out as guys wearing flannel shirts. Then women started wearing them. Then they went a heavier one, and then it became a shack-it. Yeah, so it's women appropriating men's fashion, just like the fanny pack. Became a crossbody bag, which I got a new crossbody bag. I know you all don't care, but I was very excited.
You're hilarious.
For the gym, it made great sense.
It does. And you know what? This is like an absolute turn.
What? The gym or my fanny
in
pack?
our relationship. Because I was the one who you were always handing me things.
Oh, yeah. Now we go to the gym. She goes, I don't need to take anything. I'm
not taking anything. Here, put my sunglasses in your bag.
In my man purse, my merce. I appreciate a gentleman's day bag.
I like that. A gentleman's day bag.
I you know what? I have no
you know what?
Amy, I'm going to be 50 in a couple months.
I'm
too old to have shame in my game.
Who cares if a guy is carrying a bag? If you've got stuff and you need to, what are you supposed to do?
I got hanging off my belt. I just get belt holders for everything.
It used to be like the...
Well, it used to be what guys did. They had like your phone clipped on your belt and your
Well, you had a briefcase.
Oh, yeah. Well, I still have a
lot of people have
bag, but I'm not going
briefcase.
to take my laptop bag to the gym. That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah, that would be great. I think you should take a ginormous thing to carry your
phone and my AirPods. Seems silly.
And my sunglasses.
I like to be practical in my bag sizing. Anyway, kids. Well, hey, subscribe to the podcast. Share with a friend if you find this of interest or cringiness, whatever, or if it's low key.
Share.
Low key cringe. I don't know. We're trying to understand the kid lingo and bruh. I had to Google low key. TBH, that's the big one now.
Please.
TBH, to be honest.
We are not going to use that.
And
You
then
used it.
this morning. You go, no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing this. I have got it. But anyways, so I wanted to, first off, I don't think we said anything last podcast, but you had a milestone.
I did.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a milestone.
Okay. And you have
Mile marker
or something. You are now in the comma club.
Oh, I was going to play a little sound, but it didn't work.
It didn't work. So.
Oh, it just said surprise. I'm in the comma club.
Yeah, Matt is at 1,000 days.
1,000 days. Well, over 1,000 days now.
Alcohol free. So exciting.
Yep.
So here, cheers, babe.
Cheers to 1,000 days, kids.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you. I don't really consider us day counters anymore. The only reason we're like, oh, we're coming up on some, on a day.
I count years now, but
yeah.
The 1,000 is just a nice, fun round number.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah.
Which is weird. It's 1,000 days, and then like a couple months after 1,000 days is 3 years. So it's.
But it is it
it's
is cool.
Fun.
It is cool.
It's a mile marker. And it is weird.
It is weird. Yesterday, and my memories popped up 4 years ago when we were at an NIU game to see our son, and I was all giddy
excited. You had
I had a
Sutter Homes plastic bottle of wine.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's pathetic.
You were excited about sad wine.
I was so excited about sad wine.
Yep. I remember having enough beer to let a dog take a dog treat out of my mouth. So that's a proud.
not really smart.
That's a proud moment.
Yeah. Good
Excuse me.
job. Good
Yes.
job there.
But hey, you know what? If you want to know some of our tips that helped us get to 1,000 days
Yep.
plus, you always check out our 7 tips that helped us. It's jointheirside.com.
Yep.
Amy's got a little download link for you there.
Yep.
And you also have the Sober Summit coming up, right, Amy?
Yeah, we're not really supposed to talk a lot about that yet. I know you put it in there, but
I didn't put it in there. You put it in there.
Oh, that was from last time when we didn't talk
You
about
didn't talk about that either.
But I do know the dates.
Oh, can you even say the dates?
It's November 8th, 9th, and 10th.
No, it's not your thing. You're just...
I'm a part of
you're
it.
a participant.
I'm very excited about
Yes.
being a participant in it. So there will be more info coming for you. It's a 3-day event. It's online. It's going to be for the holidays. It's going to be just about getting you ready for the holidays and being sober curious and all of that. So
Sober October is the way to kick it off, right?
The founder of that is actually going to be a guest coming up in a couple of podcast episodes. So
there you go. I didn't know I was teasing that. But
that is exciting. So, I'm kind of have an imposter syndrome. I mean, everything's basically done, but it's like, oh, really?
You are fancy and don't even know it, Amy.
So,
Believe
anyways,
it
but
or
we will
not.
be, there will be more information coming your way on that.
We do hope your Sober October is going well.
Yes.
Whether you've made it one of the days or all 9 of the days or whatever it is. Every day is an adventure, but...
And it's all learning. I tell people, I'm working with a couple different clients, and you know what? It's okay to just quit trying to quit alcohol if you're at that point. If you've tried and you're like, I don't get it. Why do I keep going back? Well, first off, it's not your fault that you have become addicted to a highly addictive substance, but it's also give yourself a lot of grace and compassion around this and start off by learning. Learn. Submerge yourself in podcasts and audiobooks and just information, and get involved in some of the groups and just learn more about it. And
I would say even at 1,000 days, I still find myself once in a while dipping back into some of, the podcasts and literature. Just, it never hurts just to reinforce some of that learning as you go.
oh my gosh, there's
it gets easier, but it never hurts to reinforce all of that learning.
Well, and I had a client go, well, how did you do it? And I'm like, well, honestly, it was so many days of, literally 7 years of wanting to and playing all the games and going, okay, well, I went a week and I didn't drink and I'm good. There's nothing wrong with me. Or I went 2 or 3 weeks and there's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. And I would do the moderation, only having 2 drinks a week or 4 drinks a week. And it finally kind of came down to the fact where when I started to accrue days, and I did count days, whenever I was sitting there thinking to myself, ooh, I think I've got this. I would literally go into groups, find the posts where I would read somebody who would say, I've been 6 months and I thought I could go ahead and moderate and I could go back. And now I'm right back where I was at. And I just read this yesterday. Somebody said, yeah, I went 7 years and thought I could moderate.
Wow.
And then they went back to drinking, and then they're like, then I slipped right back into it and drank for another 15 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And then finally, and they're like, I'm at 218 days now. So those neural pathways, they're there. They don't go
Right.
away.
Right.
And it's very easy if you
Re-trigger them.
to go
Yeah.
right back down there. But there's no reason though that you can't
Drugs be that way, Amy.
strengthen those new neural pathways, and
Right.
that's what we're doing. And I always let people know, if you've been drinking for 20 years, that's 7,300 days. And to think at day 9 or 10 or 30 or 50 or whatever that
Magically fixed.
that I've got this, and that is just not the truth. And I'm not saying that people can't moderate, because a lot of people can, and they can go back. Moderation though is not what people think. Matt, you actually do moderation. You have 1 drink a year. with your dad.
I've had 2 in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Probably true. Yeah.
that's true moderation.
Not
True.
I'm drinking 3 today and not tomorrow, then 4 tomorrow and
Yeah.
4 the next day. And
Yes.
yeah.
And so that's one thing. Or it's like,
That's trying to control your drinking.
or it's a friend of mine who does not drink,
Right.
who will say, "Oh yeah,
That's where you take it or leave it.
I went on vacation and I had a glass of wine with dinner and I didn't even finish it, and
Yeah.
I don't really care for it."
But if you've
And-
been a drinker for 10 or 20 years,
yeah,
I'm not saying impossible, but you're probably not just going to wake up one day
No.
after quitting for 3 years and then decide, oh yeah, I can do that. Like,
yeah, you
it's
have to have
strong
very,
intention.
very strong guardrails,
Yes.
rules, which I am just so happy to not have to even think about rules.
Amen.
There
sister.
was so much mental chatter, and it's just so beautiful to have it gone.
Just like our trip yesterday
Yeah.
was so relaxing because we weren't thinking about drinking. If you have, I've said this on the podcast before, and I'll say it again. I don't want to hear about your stomach problems if you're still drinking. Quit drinking, and then tell me about your stomach problems because you probably won't have near the problems once you quit drinking. And leave it at that.
Unless you have real
Yes, but you know what?
stomach problems and the drinking was covering them up.
Yes.
And if that's the case, you need to go to the
Or your
doctor.
anxiety and depression, like Jen from last week, right? She quit, and then she uncovered, said, well, okay, but take the
Yeah.
drug out of the system
Yeah.
and see what happens. You may need add something. You may not, may be able to remove something.
And for me, I mean, after 6 months, I was off all anxiety meds. And then it was this last spring, after 3 years,
Right.
I went off my antidepressants.
But
And-
your mileage may vary.
Oh,
Everybody's,
yeah,
like Jen had to add it back
absolutely.
in, which is fine.
No,
but you don't.
exactly.
But don't sit there and keep drinking and be like, well, I just want a pill, so I keep doing the crap I'm doing, which was what I did myself too. Just throw another pill on top of
Mm-hmm.
that and then quit drinking. And I took pills out and I don't need all this crap and I feel much better.
I know.
Sorry, soapbox. Anyway,
That was a soapbox.
that was
Listen
a
to you.
soap.
We need to calm him down. It's okay. Good boy.
Okay, let's-
Good boy.
I want to get to the drink of the week, but I found an interesting stat, Amy, that one reason Americans choose to drink is because 32% also enjoy the adventure of exploring a variety of alcoholic beverages. 37% of women and 26% of men like to experiment with drinks. Okay, cool, bro, but we probably experiment now far more now than we ever did with alcohol because
Yeah.
we're just like, all right, I drink gin and tonic. I drink gin and tonic. I don't experiment. Maybe different gins at best. We have so many more mixers and drinks and beers in our fridge than we ever did when we were sober.
Yeah.
Or drunk, drinking, whatever.
But you know what's funny about that is in my group, somebody even mentioned this. They're like, yeah, well, I decided, well, I would just be more of I would buy more expensive wine and I would be a connoisseur of wine. I would, I would enjoy it and I would do that. And then after doing that, because I did that too. I remember
yeah.
there was that brief, like
We tried
I wanna
Wine
say-
Club once. That worked out well.
Well, no, this was even after that. But being able where you're like, oh, I'm going to have this and it's going to slow me down. No, what I realize is I'm like, oh,
It's more expensive.
this is a lot more expensive and I'd rather just have the cheap crap.
Yeah. But I think, yeah. Oh, I drink because I like to experiment with the drinks.
We've experimented
with a ton.
Yeah. And I
have more fun experimenting not drinking than I did when I did drink. Because I
Yeah.
really was less interested. I'm like, oh, I'll try this beer. This gets me drunk faster. Cool. That was about the extent of the experiment.
So
But-
tell us about your.
This is a
yours.
repeat to the podcast, but I had to bring it back because it's no longer a beta. So this is Go Brewing's Grapefruit IPA, which was in beta for a long time, was hugely popular. So now it's called Jab Jab Grapefruit IPA, which has a super cool new label. I think you see on camera.
Yeah,
there.
they've got a great artist.
We were just up there yesterday as part of our little anniversary trip to Naperville. Stopped in, and I'll tell you what, if you ever get a chance to have an NA beer on draft, it is. I mean, I love their beer in the can. Don't get me wrong, but on draft, it's just like amazing, truly amazing. But Amy, what do you have?
Mine is from, I guess, the company. It's called Petal Sparkling Peach, Marigold, and Basil.
Taste the power of Pedal.
Yeah. Raise your vibe. It's got 10 calories. I think it's just,
It's just sparkly.
yeah, it's just a refreshing,
like a
carbonated,
spritzer,
carbonated water, no caffeine, 10 calories. I mean, these are not bad. And where did I get them, Matt? Got these at
Home Goods.
Home Goods.
Check your local Home Goods. Once in a while.
Yeah.
The problem is you won't be able to find it. You find a good deal on stuff, you probably won't find it again.
Yeah, but really, really like it. It's just a nice drink, and I probably won't be able to find it locally now.
No.
That I've gotten to this one,
But we
really
did
good.
have a great NA cocktail at our anniversary dinner on Friday, and it was made with one of the Free Spirit brand spirits.
Yeah, it was an aperitif.
Yeah, and it
And
tastes
it was
way
actually
better than the
done.
can.
However, let's just say, as spot on as they were, they brought it to us in a water glass.
Yes, the presentation.
And I want to actually say shame on you. I'm going to be contacting them and saying, if you want to up your game, you need to treat the adults who are ordering your drinks.
And they had it under like as a mocktail
and
cocktail.
so I was like,
right?
oh my gosh, this is great. Like I said, it was really good, but I don't care if you have a problem trying to make sure that you don't mix up a drink.
Right.
That's not my problem.
No.
My problem is then because
their water glasses are like mason jar looking
Yeah.
glasses, and they have wine glasses. And
Yeah.
they could have easily put in their big wine glass
Yeah.
easy, and
Yeah.
it would have been presented much nicer.
Yeah.
Versus bringing it out in that.
But anyways,
because I funny note, I don't know if you heard the table beside us when they were ordering their drinks. The one gal was asking like what we're drinking. Oh, that looks good. And the waiter, I almost said something because it really got under my skin.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
He goes, "Oh, that's basically like a kitty cocktail."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
it is so not like a kitty cocktail, but I
Yeah.
think the glass doesn't help that presentation.
Well,
because even like you
I
get
said,
tonic water in a rocks
I'm going to
glass.
have a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to contact my contact there and just say, because we have our holiday party there and we've done things there for years, and I'm going to say,
And I'm working with a contact there too.
you
so, yeah.
need to up this because you will,
You have a great drink and
and
a great
you will
presentation.
create great loyalty
Oh, right. 100%.
if you do this right.
100%.
And I will just say, and I will again point them to like Gordon Ramsay's and
theirs you couldn't tell the difference.
there's another restaurant not in our town but in another local area, little town, and I went to a ribbon cutting and they had NA cocktails and they were doing it absolutely right.
Yeah.
They're like, no, this is absolutely, you
And you're right.
can-
Sometimes they do it because this signals there's no alcohol in it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's
It's an
your
adult-
server's problem.
This is an adult beverage.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and I would even say, on their training, that might be something too. So you're insulting these clients for this. I paid a premium for that
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah. Which, note to any restaurant owners, you can still make good money.
Yeah. We did pay a premium. We were out celebrating and that.
So
that
glass change would have solidified the premium value.
yes.
Yeah. And it was still good, and I still enjoyed it.
It was very good, but I would have to say that for me, those two factors, and they are one of our top restaurants. I won't say their name, but
but good on to at least have an actual cocktail.
yes,
It wasn't like,
yes, I would say that
yes.
too.
But also don't forget to, if you like, that wasn't Go Brewing, but we were just at Go Brewing and we're featuring Go Brewing.
yeah.
Always check out the link in the show notes for $5 off your first order.
But let's talk just real briefly about our trip. Because
Sure.
this is our anniversary is actually on October 9th.
Monday.
Monday, the day that this will come out. But we've been celebrating this weekend because it is
Because nobody celebrates on a Monday.
But the whole trip was it's so different now. Mm-hmm. It's so different to be able
Well, first
to.
off, it was a Saturday morning, so you didn't wake up hungover from Friday night.
Yeah.
That
And
was
we did sleep in.
we did sleep at, 7 o'clock, but that's old people sleep in.
Yeah. So, but it was great. Got up, went and picked up our daughter, went to Naperville, did the river walk, went and did a little shopping,
Had lunch.
went to Go Brewing, and then we went to Trader Joe's, and it was but it was so relaxed.
Yep.
And, I'm going to call you out. We're not having to go to the bathroom. We're not having to look for the bathroom for
Right.
you. And there's no, like, we had lunch and there was no issues. There's nothing at all. I mean, it's total freedom.
Yeah, I could get up and just go, and we'd eat lunch, not have to do all my planning and my pills and all this crap I used to have to do before. And then we weren't looking for a bar or somewhere to have a drink or two before, because it got into the afternoon time. And, do we want to get back or, stop on the way home and have a drink or whatever. And you got to drive home. And if you're drinking, this whole, all of that mind game that, if you're still drinking, you understand. And no, we just enjoyed the day and didn't have to think about any of that extra stuff.
It is amazing.
And we still went to a tap house and still had a great beer.
Yeah, we had a great beer.
Yeah.
We had a great beer.
And
you bought beer and I bought a shirt. And so
you can still make money off me.
Yeah.
That's the moral of that story, kids.
We're still making poor decisions. No, no, it's just great. And Go Brewing, you guys do it right. And thank you so much. And if you are interested in trying any of their drinks, if you have not ordered from them, we do have a discount code.
Which I just mentioned.
Oh, you did? Sorry.
Yes. Thank you for participating in the podcast.
Could we also say that I have ADHD?
The alcohol did not help that.
No,
or getting rid of the alcohol didn't help
but
that.
we were going to, so today, the topic we are going to be covering is pink washing, or I'm just now going to start calling it ribbon washing.
Well, and I always thought pink washing was just the blatant use of pink everywhere for breast cancer awareness, regardless of what you're selling, just to game the system. But really, pink washing is rooted in the alcohol industry looking at, or you leveraging cancer awareness or breast cancer awareness month for marketing their own product. And that extends even into cancer fundraising events where there's a lot of alcohol. Like we've talked about, like mimosas and mammograms, right? And I reached out to both Susan G. Komen and American Cancer Society, because actually there was an event I saw that said presented by American Cancer Society. I'm like, and it was like a wine 5K or something like that. Susan G. Komen never got back. American Cancer Society did, but they basically were like,
drink responsibly.
We encourage people to drink responsibly based
And
on follow the guidelines. And we follow the guidelines. And so it was a non-answer, as my PR background would.
However,
not
if you go by what was it in 2018 or 2019 when the World Cancer Association came out and said that no amount of alcohol is.
Well, we're not going to go there. We're not that.
Is heart healthy, and there's no
safe limit.
There's no safe limit anymore. It's coming out. And it is a carcinogen. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, what that means, a carcinogen causes cancer.
Like smoking.
Yes. And so for me, the pink washing really bothers me. When I see mammos and mimosas, and I know that breast cancer is a cancer that is directly related to alcohol consumption.
Yep.
That makes me angry.
And I get frustrated because I know people who own some of the tap houses and stuff, and they do events, and they're doing good, and they are super community focused, right? And that is their product, right? So it's hard for them to do something that's not related. But it's like, here, come drink all of this alcohol and raise money, because you're going to need it, because you're drinking to give yourself cancer. So I don't know. I have a hard time with it. And especially when it's like, the whole event. Sometimes it's like, we're doing, today all of our proceeds are going to benefit. That may be a little different. Still pinkwashing, I think. But
yeah,
when you have these like legit like fundraisers for something, and it's, but the old school fundraiser people would tell you, that's how you're going to get more money out of people if they're drinking, which is not wrong. They're not wrong.
But
although you've made some bad auction decisions sober too, so
yes, I have. But I think there has to come a point, especially in healthcare. In healthcare, it's fine if a tap house does it or if a wine company does it, and they put, oh, here you go. Here's our pink rosé. It's our breast cancer awareness month one. Yeah, great. You know what? And I'm sorry.
Right.
For those of you ladies, please do not take this as judgment. I was that person. I was the person who would buy the pink ribbon wine.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, but here's the problem. They don't have to tell you how much they're going to donate to breast cancer research. They could be
Just
donating,
supports.
they could just be doing nothing. They don't have to tell you anything. And it gives this huge false sense of I mean security. I mean, I don't know if you
guess.
call that, but it's just kind of, to me, it's just gross.
This is an older ad, but this wine called Relax. And it had an ad said, "Screw cancer, relax wine helps save the tatas."
Yeah.
Okay, well, you may give to it, but your drug, your chemical is causing part of the problem too. So, yeah, I honestly didn't find like current stats. There was a big report in 2015 about it. So that's where a lot of the data comes from.
Yeah, but I would just like to say, like, even there is a campaign called Drink Less for Your Breasts, and it brings up some pretty significant statistics. And it says only 1 in 4 women ages 15 to 44 are aware that alcohol is can increase your risk for breast cancer significantly. Consuming just 1 drink a day, even within the U.S. dietary guidelines, elevates your breast cancer risk by 14%. And, you know, it doesn't just affect women, it affects men as well. So
Right.
it's, you know, it's not something that is, it's not just men or women. It's
2 in 10 breast cancer deaths are related to drinking.
Yeah,
So-
and they said as of per the CDC in 2020, their survey that they did, approximately 250,000 U.S. women were diagnosed with breast cancer in 2018, and that places breast cancer as the second most prevalent and second most lethal cancer in women. And it just, you know, it also says in their report too, is that binge drinking, defined as 4 or more drinks in a single session, has been directly linked to elevate your breast cancer risk. And so with that, I would also like to just, as always, you know, what is a current, what are the drink sizes? Like, okay, so when you look at it's a 12-ounce beer.
But it's a 12 ounce, like a 5% or something alcohol.
And it's a 5 ounces of wine is 1 serving.
Which
So
if you go to most places for the beer anyway, most of the beers are over 5. A lot of them are over 5%. All the ones I drank were well over 5%.
well, and now you can get now they serve 2 sizes of wine now, and most are now you can get the larger, the 9. I mean, so you're drinking.
2 to 1. We in our house, we just called it, you know, a family pour, you know.
Well, yeah, and I would have to say, you know, I definitely, when I had to really examine and then, you know, measure out what I was drinking, because I did that after, I was definitely not a moderate drinker. I was a heavy drinker. So I just want people to be aware. I want
we all like to
people-
think, we all consider ourselves moderate. You know.
but I would just count the glasses. It's like, okay, well, I was
Right.
Oh, I only had 2. Well,
Yeah.
and technically it was probably more like 5.
Yeah.
4 or
Yeah.
5. I mean, when you think about it.
Well, and interesting, I always find that it's, well, men's side anyway, it's always the 2. Just limit it to 2. Well, I would almost argue sometimes that 1 is easier to stop at than 2. Because once I've had 2, it's easy to 1/3 at that point, right? So
Well,
it's almost like it's
and-
set up for failure.
And the guidelines now are 2 drinks for men a day. And women, it's 1. And no
Right.
more than 7 in a week.
Well, and my doctor, while it wasn't
And-
very helpful, even pointed out that doesn't mean you can save them and use them all in one day.
No. And the other thing is, but men over 65, they go down to the women's.
Oh, really?
It's 1 drink. So you tell me, if you've been drinking all of these years,
You're going to go down to 1?
you're going to go down to 1. Well, first off, you can't.
No.
Your brain isn't going to let you.
You've broken your brain by that
Yeah.
point.
So, anyways, that is us on our soapbox. I just want to, and we also, we'll put in the show notes. Last year, we did a really good interview with a fellow coach who is a breast cancer survivor, and we'll put that in there as well.
Well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, this is a whole nother different but similar topic of fundraising and alcohol, right? Like, if you want, I mean, there's no secret that if you're trying to raise funds, whether it's for, cancer or for a kid's park down the street, if you have booze at the event, I mean, first off, remember, we would look at an event and be like, there's no alcohol. Why would I go?
Oh, I know.
Like, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Or you would go to events and we would get to the event. And if it didn't have alcohol, we would leave.
We just leave.
We
Yeah.
would leave early.
Or leave early.
And shame on us. I would say that because first off, it shows what do you care about? Do you care about the actual event or are you concerned about the alcohol?
Right. Oh, well, exactly. Oh, 100%.
I mean, and I think that's kind of a thing as well.
And I will say some of those events we've been to since we quit drinking aren't very fun. I mean, not because of the alcohol. I'm like, some are really fun. Some are really fun. You're right.
Some are really fun.
It lifts the veil and it's like, okay, I really was coming to this one only because it had.
Here's the thing. Most of the time, if you're going to an event and you're drinking and you're like, okay, where's the bar? It is a boring event.
Right. But I understand. It's like, if you're doing an auction, like, loosen the purse string. I mean, I bought a $400 keyboard and I don't even play the piano. I'm just saying. So.
And I do, but I think I get it. But I think that as a society, we sit and look and we judge others. We judge the person who we deem an alcoholic, who, is a drug user or somebody like that. And the thing is, it's because we call it alcohol.
Right.
Alcohol. It has a different name.
But we were just at an event where they didn't have alcohol, but I saw at least one table, maybe a couple, who left
they went.
the area, went over to the bar, and then imported their alcohol.
Yeah. Well, fine.
Yeah.
Good for them. And I don't have any problem with that. That.
Now, in their defense, they're also out of tea and lemonade, so that was a whole nother problem.
Well, we don't even need to go into that.
But
whole
it
thing.
is. But it is hard. I think I bet if you statistically look at fundraising without alcohol versus with alcohol, I guarantee you're going to see an increase, and people expect it.
But it's increased over the past 2 or 3 decades, where it's really increased up like that.
Right.
Our society has increased, and the alcohol industry specifically now goes. I mean, it's no different than how any of this works with the marketing from big alcohol.
Right.
It's like, oh no, let's partner with them. We'll help them. Oh, we'll help you. We'll sponsor your research. We'll do this. Come on.
What?
Have any of you
We'll
guys
sponsor research that happens to be in our favor.
And exactly. And here's the thing: if you've watched any of the specials about the documentaries or any of the specials about the opioid epidemic, come on,
it's the same basic concept.
It's disgusting what the drug industry did. They went in, they literally lied. They lied.
Yep.
And the tobacco industry lied. And the alcohol industry hired the tobacco industry to come on in. Come on over, fellas.
Teach us.
Teach us your ways. And so I get it. It's not going to go away. But when we sit and we act like it's okay, and then we bring up these things and we act like we're any different than anybody else, like, oh, well, they just... How bad were they? Like my mom, like when she asked me, she goes, were you an alcoholic?
Did you have a problem?
Did you have a problem? Well, kind of, yeah, I did.
And I think that's what holds people back from stopping. It's like, well, if I stop, it makes it look like I had a problem. I just feel like I need to stop for me.
Yeah.
Not that the world thinks I have a problem. The world thinks you have a problem, then you really probably have a problem.
I don't give a blank about what the world thinks. And as an adult,
the world's not going to think you have a problem until you're under the bus or under the bridge.
I mean, the issue is so complex. I mean, and then it pulls in all of like,
but it's not
peer pressure.
But society doesn't boil it down. Society leaves it high level. Like you're either bad or you're fine.
It's all headlines.
Right.
Everything is a headline. It's here we are, and I just want to say that. If you are thinking that you want to quit drinking, no, you are probably not deemed an alcoholic. I mean, I don't call myself an alcoholic. I was somebody who alcohol was no longer serving anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to put any kind of label.
No,
on it. You could be a gray area drinker. You could be alcoholic. You could just
and it's a health
yeah.
issue for
Right.
me. I mean, folks, when you are looking in the mirror, and if you are struggling, and you have somebody who will say to you, I don't think your drinking is that bad. You're fine. Don't worry about it. How do you feel on the inside? That's the only person you have to answer is yourself and God.
Well, because they can say that, but that doesn't change how you really feel.
Exactly.
Oh, you don't really have but I still feel like it.
Why
do I still feel like I do? And they say I don't.
I struggled with that forever. I struggled with that like, oh, okay, well, I'm not drinking any different than the people I go out with. Well, first off, I don't know how anybody's drinking.
No.
I mean, you see what people are doing. There are people who I have now who've come out and to talk to me about different things and who are people who never drank in public.
Right.
Never drank in public, but they would go home and drink.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you don't know. And it's this constant comparing ourselves to other people and this whole facade.
Most stories we've heard are people who their problem isn't in society. Like they can fake it in front of everybody else in the world, but it's when they go home.
Mm-hmm. And they're tired of, and honestly, I mean, there's a point when you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, it was just, had gotten to the point, it was just self-hate. I'm like,
Or when you're pouring another drink, literally going, why am I pouring this drink? And you still pour the drink.
Yeah, exactly.
But what can I say?
But anyways, where are we at?
We're at the end, Amy.
We're at the end?
We're at the end.
I'd like to raise us up a little bit.
That's what the music is for. Music raises you up a little bit.
Raises a bit. Well, anyways, I'm very excited. We've got some coaches coming on again.
Yeah, there's some interviews coming up.
And some interviews. We're excited about that.
If you missed last week's interview with Jen, check it out. That was a really fun interview.
It was a fun interview. Yeah. She is just a little firecracker. And
a lot of information, super smart. Yeah.
And if you want to check her out, please do. And like I said, we will be back next week.
You can always reach out to Coach Amy at amy@jointheotherside.com
yes.
if you need help with your sober Octoberness.
Yeah. If you do have any questions, if you just need somebody to tell you that you're okay and that you're not alone, we're here.
Believe me, you are not
alone in this.
No matter what stage you're at, you are not alone.
That's right.
There's always somebody ahead of you and always somebody behind you and somebody who's in the same boat with you.
And our job, I feel, primarily with this is to just reach back and say, come on.
Yep.
We're here to walk with you.
Yes, exactly. No judging. You know what? Just like at the gym, Amy. It's always somebody's first day.
There is no judgment.
No judgment. You see me working out, you better hope there's not judgment.
And you know what? Believe me.
I'm the one to be judged on.
I'm like, here we are. Yep. But we're here.
We are here.
And that's, you know what? If you're at the gym, you're at the gym.
Exactly.
You know what? If you're at the gym, you're in the top 10%.
There you go. Want to be in the top 10%, kids? Just go to the gym. There you go.
Go to the gym.
There you go. You'd be too damn tired to drink. So, all right, kids, that's it for us for this week. Wishing you peace and love from the cornfields. I'm Matt, along with Coach Amy, and we are out.